Hello, friends and family of YouTube. It's Travis with Just Keep Walking. In today's video, I'm doing another comparison between the old GoPro 5 and the new GoPro 12 that I got last year. I did a video on this a little over a year ago while I was kind of out on a hike and trying to show some of the different things that I had noticed between the two. But since I've now had this for almost a year and I've become a little bit more familiar with it, I thought it would be a good idea to do another video and just give you some pros and cons of each and see if this helps if you're looking to upgrade your current GoPro. But anyway, before I get started, let me show you some footage that I took earlier this morning down at the park next to the lake here where I live. And it'll show some side-by-side footage with both the GoPro 5 and the GoPro 12 at the same time, and we'll see how that looks. And then I'll come back and show you some differences and give you basically my personal opinion on the two, and see if it's something that you'd be interested in upgrading your current GoPro to a newer model. So anyway, let me go ahead and show you that footage now so that you can take a look of it, and then we'll come back here in just a second. Alright, so I'm here at one of our local parks today. Decided not to hike and just go to the park instead. I wanted to do an updated video comparison of the GoPro 5 versus the GoPro 12. I did one probably over a year ago when I first got the 12, and wanted to kind of give you some updates on what I've learned and some of the pros and cons of each. So right now I've got both of these set for 4K wide angle. The only thing about the GoPro 5 is it can only go to 30 frames per second while it's in 4K, and the GoPro 12 is at 60. So we'll see. Hopefully that won't be too much of a disadvantage for the 5. But anyway, I've learned quite a bit about both of these, and I am not a videographer, okay? I know I'm not even using half the abilities, probably more like I'm using about 30% of the capabilities of both of these. But I needed something that was durable for hiking, something that's easy to use for me to publish my videos, so I stuck with the GoPro series. The GoPro 5 is and has been a workhorse. I used it early on, but one of the things that I noticed and also got some feedback on was the video stabilization, or lack of video stabilization on the GoPro 5. A lot of people said, well, love your videos, but it makes me feel motion sickness. So decided to upgrade to a 12 that actually has digital video stabilization on it. And I'm walking right now, and hopefully you can tell the difference. I think the GoPro 5 is somewhat a little choppier. The 12 is a little smoother, but I've got both of them mounted on the same bracket so that you can give a fair comparison to the two. The other thing, as far as like video quality, I think the 5 actually does really well, but the 12, I don't know, the 4K just seems like it's a little clearer. Last time I published this video, my editing software actually downgraded it down to I think like 720 or 1080p. So this one, hopefully I'll be able to publish an actual 4K and you'll see the difference. And I think one of the other things is audio. So believe it or not, I think the audio, or the microphone on the GoPro 5, is better than the 12. It's definitely a lot more sensitive. I think it sounds better, but the problem is it's so sensitive that, like, when I had it mounted on my chest mount, it would make a clicking sound when I hiked, which got kind of annoying. So I'm going to click this bracket right here in the middle, and so it'll be fair for both of these. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. I'll switch out on the audio, hopefully, and you'll be able to tell the difference. But that clicking sound, the microphone on the 5 is so sensitive. Hopefully you can hear it, or maybe not. Hopefully you don't hear it, because it's annoying. But the 12 seems to be able to channel that out a little bit better. So that was one of the things. But the microphone on the 12, I power down a lot to save battery as I'm hiking, and I think with me turning it on and off, that impacts the audio, because I've noticed on some of my videos it fades in and out, which is kind of annoying as well. But anyway, so to just test out the overall video quality of both, and the audio of both. And I'm going to shake this a little bit so you can see if the video stabilization on one is better or worse than the other. I mean, the GoPro 5 really doesn't have it at all, so it's going to look pretty bad. But anyway, and normally my hiking videos, it's really early in the morning, so there's not a lot of sunlight, and the GoPros work really well with light, not so much at nighttime. So anyway, let me just get a shot of the lake here. This will be a still shot. Hopefully that's not going to blind you. And the GoPro 5, unfortunately, I think I've got a small scratch on the lens. The 12, when I bought it, I got some screen protectors put on it, but the poor old 5, it's taking a beating. So hopefully that won't negatively impact the GoPro 5. But anyway, I just wanted to do the update on the video. I've had several people watch it, give comments on it, and you'll find out real quick that, like, I'm not a videographer, right? So I don't know that much about the overall settings. I'm not using the GoPros to their full potential. I just needed something that was tough and durable, put on a chest mount, go hiking through the woods for several hours, and then come home and, you know, make a video to share with others. So if you're just an average person using a GoPro, hopefully this comparison will help you decide if you've got an older one and you want to upgrade or not. I personally, I like both of them. I'm going to give you some more detailed feedback on what I think the pros and cons of each are. I think for the GoPro series, up until GoPro 8, they can use the same batteries. I think around GoPro 9 they switched over to the larger battery format, which is what the 12 uses. So if you're going from anything up to an 8, most of the accessories will not work on a 9 and above. So just keep that in mind. And also, I do know that the memory card that you have to get for the GoPro 12 is a lot more expensive, just because in order to take advantage of all the functionality, you just have to have a higher processing card versus one of the cheaper ones that I can use in the GoPro 5. So it does get more expensive as you upgrade, so remember that. And I'm trying to walk through some shade here to see, you know, if you can tell with the quality of the video when you go from sunlight into shade, if that impacts anything. But pan around here, let's see if it was a red Jeep by, but not a whole lot of color out right now. Everything's just kind of really green now that we've hit summer. But anyway, like I said, I'll give you some more pros and cons of each, and if you're looking to possibly upgrade, you know, hopefully this will help. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I just like to go hiking and try to share that experience with others, give people an idea of what the trails look like, how to get there, is there ample parking, let you know how rigorous it is. If it's something that, like, if you're visiting and you're considering a trail, you know, hopefully that gives you better information. But for this specific video, I wanted just to show the difference between the GoPro 5 and the 12. Hopefully, if you are thinking about upgrading from an older GoPro to a newer one, this will help you make that decision. And I just wanted to show the audio, the video quality of the two, put them on side-by-side comparison so that you can see the difference between them. Pan around here again. Try not to bore you to death, but I also want to make sure I give you the ample feedback that you need. And again, I'm going to shake this a little bit so that you can see. I'm walking, and this bracket they're mounted on, I'm shaking it up and down so that you can see the difference in the video stabilization on the 12 versus not having anything on the 5. But anyway, hopefully this helps, and I would love for, you know, to put any feedback or comments down below and let me know your thoughts. If you're currently using an older GoPro, if you like it, if you have any questions, you can ask those as well.
Like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm just a average guy that likes to get out and hike and share that experience with others. And I just needed a camera that would hold up under, tough hiking conditions, and that's why I chose the GoPro series. But there are some differences on the 5 and the 12, and so hopefully you'll be able to see those. And let me pan around one last time before I shut it off here. All right, so there you go. That's the GoPro 5 versus the GoPro 12, and hopefully this will give you an idea of the differences between the two and help you make a decision if you're thinking about upgrading to a newer model.
All right, welcome back. So hopefully you could see the difference between the two. I'll be honest with you, I haven't even reviewed the footage yet. I'm doing this right now to edit back in to the footage that you just saw. So all that's still a work in progress, but my guess is that you're going to notice some differences on the video. First of all, the video stabilization that the GoPro 12 has, to me, has been a huge improvement. The GoPro 5 was very shaky and jumpy, and I got some comments on some of my older videos about it almost made people have motion sickness because just the fact that it does move around quite a bit. I didn't realize how bad it was until I went back to look at some older footage to see, I was trying to edit some of that from a trail previously into one of my newer videos, and I mean the just the quality in the video stabilization was pretty big. So that's one of the biggest pieces for me. I think personally, I was trying to find a way to get a more steady video without having to use a gimbal, which I have used a gimbal so far. It works pretty good, but it's just difficult because when I hike, I really need both my hands free, and I usually put the GoPro on like my chest mount, and just so having that stabilization makes the video quality just a little bit better. As far as the audio goes, I think the microphone on the GoPro 5 actually is a little bit more sensitive, which is a good and a bad thing, because I think it gives you some better quality when I'm next to the water, or if you've got birds singing in the woods, whatever. Like it sounds, I think, a little bit better on the GoPro 5. The problem is it's so sensitive, it picks up like any movement or clicking noise, and it becomes very, very annoying, where the GoPro 12 tends to filter out some of that, where it's not as bad. But I turn my GoPro on and off quite a bit while I hike just to conserve battery while I'm out there, and I don't know if that messes with it or not, but I found out a lot of times that in some of my videos the audio will fade in and out on the 12, so that's kind of annoying as well. So that's been one of my cons against the 12, but otherwise it's been very, very good. So I'll show you a size comparison real quick of the two. I had to take a picture of it because I got to film with one versus showing the other. So the GoPro 5 is a little smaller, so the GoPro 12 is bigger. I will show you that the batteries, they are not compatible. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the white one here, that is the GoPro 12. The GoPro 5 has a smaller profile. I think they actually updated that when they switched from like the GoPro 8 to the 9. So GoPro 8 and below, they actually use the smaller battery. GoPro 9 and above uses the larger ones. The battery power of the GoPro 5, it actually eats through batteries very, very quickly. I've got 5 of these that I used when I was using the GoPro 5 to hike with. They just go through so much quicker, and especially on a really cold day, these batteries don't last long at all. GoPro 12, bigger battery. The website says that it's supposed to have 30% more power than the original. And believe it or not, when I did the test today, I had the GoPros powered on at the same time, recorded for the same time, and when I got done, this one was at like 73% power still. This one is at 43%, literally like 30% difference. Right now I just have two of these. There's two of the official GoPro batteries, and they will last a full hike. But like I said, I power down the GoPro when I'm not using it just to conserve power when I need it. So that's a big plus is you got more power in the batteries, so you don't have to have as many of those. And I'm filming with the GoPro 12 right now, so here is the 5. And I think one of my biggest pet peeves when using the GoPro 5 is like when you get access to where your battery is and the SD card. So typically, what I had to do was swap batteries when one of them would die while I'm out on a hike and put a new one in. Which that's not the problem. If you're just filming with your holding the GoPro like that, that's not an issue. But if you need to put this on like a chest mount, or you're putting it in a selfie stick or whatever it may be, you have to put it in one of these cases, and then you're closing that up, and then this is what you're going to hook on to whatever the mount may be. So if I've got this mounted on my chest, then in order to take the battery out and replace it, I have to take this completely off of my chest, take this out, and then take the battery out, put another one back in, put it in the case, put it back on. So I'll show you here in just a minute the difference with the GoPro 12 is it's actually got the built-in bracket at the bottom, so I don't need another mount. I can literally just take the battery out. The compartment on the battery for the GoPro 12 is actually on the side, which sometimes I don't even have to take it completely off my chest. I can just pop the battery in from the side and keep going. But even if I do take it off the chest mount or whatever, I don't have to take it out of one of these cases. So to me, it's a little bit more convenient just for the fact that I don't have to mess with time with that. Oh, and I almost forgot one of the other features that I really like about the GoPro 12 is, if you can see it, is it has a front screen on it, which the GoPro 5 does as well. But this actually will let you see what the shot looks like as you're filming it. So you can see right here what it's seeing is the GoPro back here in the background. But yeah, I like having that, so when I'm filming myself doing my hikes, I can actually see if the waterfall in the background, what it looks like, where I didn't have that option with the GoPro 5. I just kind of had to shoot in the direction and hope for the best. But that's another feature. Of course, it has the bigger screen on the back, which I really, really like. But again, this functionality with the built-in mounting bracket is probably one of my favorites, along with the digital video stabilization. So I know there's a lot of other cameras out there in the market too. I mean, there's tons of YouTube videos. I had the GoPro originally, didn't use it a whole lot until I started hiking. I went with the GoPro 12. That was the latest model at the time. I think there's a 13 out now, but I just like the functionality of it. I was used to it, so I stayed with something similar, but I also like the durability of the GoPros. For me, like when I'm out hiking, it's a lot easier if I'm using something like this versus I've seen a lot of the other cameras that, if you're going to be doing social media or whatever and you're just around town or traveling and doing things like that, those might be a better option. But as far as just ruggedness, where I can get out in the woods, they are waterproof, so I can, they can go underwater. I don't have to worry about when it rains, which is pretty nice. The poor GoPro 5, I didn't have a screen protector on it. It's got a little bit of a nick on it, so that may have influenced the video that I had earlier if it got a glare from the sun. I did get some protective lenses for the GoPro 12 when I ordered it, so pretty nice to have those now, so I don't have to worry so much about like a lens scraping or whatever, because when I'm hiking, I mean, I'm going through brush and everything else. So anyway, I like the GoPros. I will say the GoPro 5, I'm a huge fan. It worked well for me. The GoPro 12, though, is just a little bit more efficient. I like the fact that it's got longer battery power, so I only have to have 2 batteries versus the 5 when I had this one. I like the video stabilization, which is a huge plus. Um, Audio, I don't know. I mean, it works fine for me for the GoPro 12. I thought that, if I'm filming a river or a waterfall, the GoPro 5 seemed to have better quality audio. But as soon as you start moving around, it just picked up everything and it had an annoying little click. So that was the strike against the GoPro 5. This one is smaller, so if you're just going to throw something, like in your pocket or whatever you need to film, the GoPro 5 is great. I do like the fact that the bracket on the 12 it's built in, so I don't have to take it out of this mount in order to get access to the battery, because I was having to change them fairly often based on the amount of usage that I had. So anyway, the last time that I published the comparison, and this is probably the biggest key to the whole video from last time, is my editing software that I was using, which is PowerDirector 365. It defaulted from the 4K that I was filming in down to, I can't remember if it was either 720 or 1080. And I believe it was Dave that had made a comment on one of my videos a few months ago and said, "Hey, I know you say you're filming this in 4K, but it's coming across in like 1080p." So I went back, and sure enough, it was my editing software. I was filming in 4K. It was downgrading it to 1080. So when I published that comparison, it wasn't showing the true video quality of either of those two GoPros. So anyway, this one hopefully should. Both are going to be in 4K, both with a wide view. The only problem is that the GoPro 5 can only go to 30 frames per second, where the GoPro 12 was at 60. So that will give a little bit of advantage, I think, to the 12. Neither of the GoPros work very well at night. They work great during the day. The more light that you have, the better they function. So if you're in like low light settings, you can adjust the settings a little bit. I found a way to do that. I'm not going to go into the details. There's some other videos out there that are a lot better explaining that, but go in and you can adjust the light levels, and it does make the video quality a little bit better. I've had to use that on the early morning hikes before the sun comes up, just to make sure that people can actually see the trail in the video. If you try to film it when it's dark, or even when I go into one of the cabins, if I've got it on the regular settings, it's very difficult to see. I always have to switch it over to the low light settings. So anyway, I've got that pre-programmed into the GoPro 12. But again, both of these are great. I had a lot of comments of people saying it wasn't worth the money to upgrade if you had one of the older models. If you're not using it a lot, I would agree with that. I would stick with one of the older models. If you only use it 2 or 3 times, or when you go on vacation or whatever, I think they're great. I'm hiking about every week, almost every week, and publishing a video. This one, the GoPro 12, is just a lot easier for me to use, swapping out the batteries. It's just a little bit more functional. Like I said, the whole digital video stabilization was a game changer, though. That keeps me from having to use a gimbal. So hopefully you'll be able to see the difference in those side-by-side videos that I put on here. And I think I was tapping to click to see if you could hear that clicking noise on the 5 versus the 12. So anyway, hopefully it'll capture all of that, and this will turn out to be a worthwhile video for you. But like I said, not a professional, just a guy that likes to get out and hike, try to share those experiences with others, so they can see, if they're ever here in East Tennessee in the Smoky Mountains, and if it's a particular, trail that you'd like to hike, it'll kind of show you what it's like, if it's, rugged, if it's short, what the parking situation looks like, directions on how to get there. So anyway, thought I'd put this one back out. Hopefully it'll be a better comparison video than the one that I did last time, because it was a little bit rushed. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button. I'd also go ahead and ask that you hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything. It'll just give you a notification the next time I publish another video, which will hopefully be a hiking video again soon. But as usual, until next time, just keep walking.